Good evening. A major cleanup operation is underway across the country as Scotland recovers from the explosive force of Storm Eowyn. Travel services remain severely disrupted and more than 40,000 homes are still without power. 2 people are known to have been injured as gusts reach more than 100 miles per hour. Our reporter Laura Piper has more.
This is the aftermath of one of the most significant storms to hit Scotland. On this street in Dalkeith, a roof ripped right off a block of flats and onto this house. Neighbours say it's luck that no one was badly hurt.
It seemed to get a bit noisier, which I presume was just the wind getting up, and the next thing there was a monumental bang, and we looked out and my son saw more than I did, and he just said the whole flat roof of the neighbouring flats has come off and it landed on this poor neighbour's own roof and done a fair bit of damage to it. She was actually in the house at the time, so she got at least as much of a fright as we did.
This is just one of several homes across the country to be evacuated. This was a storm of explosive force, reaching hurricane-level gusts of more than 100 miles per hour.
Oh my God!
For many people across the country, today has been about surveying the damage. For some, that means a few lost tiles. For others, they've lost their whole roof. And there are still thousands of homes without power. Engineers are working flat out to get the power back on.
We've got a massive operation in place, armies of engineers out restoring power across our region, but also teams out supporting customers, particularly those most vulnerable or where it may take a little longer to restore power.
Transport links remain disrupted. ScotRail say 400 incidents have been reported across the network, including multiple trees on tracks.
That's taken a long time to repair. That work, we've managed to get some lines reopened, for example between Inverness and Aberdeen, between Edinburgh and Tweedbank, but there are still a number of routes in the Central Belt that haven't been able to reopen, and disruption will continue into Sunday. Clean-up crews are out clearing debris and assessing damage. This cafe in Glasgow fell victim to the high winds.
We heard it coming, we heard these bashes that we had never heard before, noises that we weren't used to. And within minutes, the sign that was above had come down, and 3 huge kind of 2 metre parts, maybe about 50 kilos each, of sign came down. One of the parts of the sign was caught in the electrical cables that ran the lighting on the street, so that meant that it was suspended off the ground and it was swinging back and forward, so that was what caused the immediate threat for us at the time.
The storm also decimated history itself. This tree is more than 400 years old and has links to Mary, Queen of Scots.
I mean, it's sad to see things obviously destroyed.
The amount of trees down and debris shows just how strong it was.
And we just stayed in all day, and we're just peeking out the curtains, basically, watching things blow around.
The Scottish Government says staying indoors is what saved lives.
We do continue to urge great caution as the weather remains somewhat unsettled and there are yellow warnings that remain in force.
The storm has now largely moved away, leaving a trail of damage and disruption behind it. But scientists warn that with global temperatures rising, we must brace for the next one.
What that brings is more water in the atmosphere, more energy in the atmosphere, and it's those components that drive more storms. A multi-hazard event, I think, is really what we've seen here, with coastal inundation, high waves and really strong winds, and I think we're far more likely to see those sorts of events occurring in the future.
For now, the clean-up goes on, with disruption likely to last through the days ahead. Laura Piper, STV News.